Dabilaro Ali says, Sengoku had to be livid seeing how much effort Mihawk put in Marineford. Yeah, dude, I've gone on rants on this enough times in my streams about how terrible of an investment the Shichibukai were on the world government's part. An absolutely abysmal investment. They only have one, they get free reign to do absolutely everything. Absolutely everything, right? No Marines hunt them. They're free to just hunt and chase pirates as they want. They don't have to show up to meetings. God knows the world government calls meetings for the Shichibukai, expecting them not to show up. That's wild. They literally, you remember after Crocodile was defeated, that Shichibukai meeting that happened? They call the meeting demanding all the Shichibukai, who are basically their employees, to show up. And they organize this whole meeting, expecting basically none of them to show up, except for Kuma, who's their fucking mindless automated robot who basically has to show up because they control his brain. Obviously, Kuma wasn't full cyborg at that point, but they were already putting the work in, right? He's basically literally world government property at that point. They're like, yeah, we'll call this meeting, but we know only our fucking robot's gonna show up. Oh, look at that. Doflamingo showed up and Mihawk showed up. Well, this is a win. We got 3 out of 7. That's amazing. So they call these meetings for no reason. They treat the Shichibukai like they're the most important thing in the world, right? They give the Shichibukai max respect. They get to do whatever the fuck they want. No one messes with them. In the meantime, these Shichibukai are off doing ridiculous things, like trying to unearth ancient weapons and destroy the world, aka Crocodile, or enslaving, entire islands, Doflamingo, right? It's just, it's ridiculous. And their only job is to show up one time over 20 years. They just have to show up once. Just one time. To do what? To do the only thing that they were fucking created to do, which was fight a Yonko. And they don't even fucking do it. They just sit around and laugh about shit. And Mihawk swings his sword once, and then he cuts a tidal wave, and then he says, okay, well, now Shanks showed up, and I don't want to fight that Yonko. Bitch, you're supposed to fight every Yonko. You were signed up to fight all the Yonko. It wasn't in the contract that you get to pick and choose which Yonko. That defeats the entire purpose of the Shichibukai. So Mihawk's out, right? Boa Hancock, she not only does she not contribute to the war effort, she counteracts the war effort, literally turning Marines and pacifistas to stone and destroying them. You know how much pacifistas cost? A fucking battleship's worth. A single pacifista has the same cost as it takes to make a battleship. She's basically destroying God knows how many millions of berries of company property over the course of the Marineford War, and then she doesn't even quit. She's just like, I'm just gonna keep my job. Lets Luffy get away. Actually, she protects Luffy at her island post Marineford. Jinbe quits. Jinbe's not as bad as Mihawk. No, Jinbe's worse than Mihawk, because again, Jinbe's only job, the only thing he was signed up to do. What are you supposed to do when you're Shichibukai? You have to fight a Yonko. Yonko shows up. Oh, I don't want to fight this Yonko. I'm sitting this one out. You don't get to do that. The Shichibukai are such pieces of shit. It's crazy. It's absolutely absurd. Doflamingo, there's nothing that needs to be really said there, right? He's Doflamingo. The world government are fucking stupid as fuck. They signed up these 7 pirates. They're like, who came up with this idea? They're like... Someone was sitting in a room at some point and was just like, these pirates, they're really becoming a lot of trouble, especially these Yonko. And then some genius was like, oh yeah, I've got the best idea in the world. The best thing to fight some pirates would be some other fucking pirates. And then somebody else in the room was probably like, wait, I don't know about the sound of that, right? Isn't the whole reason that we don't trust them and that we want to fight them is because they're pirates and, they're bad guys, so maybe we shouldn't just, put them on our side because that's the whole point is that we're trying to eradicate them? Why would we have pirates on our side? They're like, no, these pirates, they're going to work for us, man. They're going to be an invaluable asset come time to fight these Yonko. Just trust me, okay? So for 20 years, you've got these Shichibukai sitting around, biggest bums in the world, doing whatever the fuck they want, certainly not helping out the world government. And then, spoiler alert, when the Yonko show up, those pirates that we thought we shouldn't trust in the first place don't actually help us at all and actually fuck us way more than anything else. The Shichibukai are the dumbest. And then when the world government is like, they're so stressed about abolishing the Shichibukai system too. They're just like, oh, fuck, can we really afford to abolish the shichibukai system? Can you afford to abolish the shichibukai system? You should have abolished it from, like, the second week out that you established it. This has never been useful to you. It has only caused this world government pain and suffering and hardship. Blackbeard was a shichibukai. Blackbeard was a shichibukai. Maybe it's just because this is a late night stream, but now I'm really fucking thinking about it. Blackbeard was a shichibukai. Oh my god, they're so dumb. You know what Blackbeard did? You guys remember what Blackbeard did? He signed up for shichibukai for 1 week. He was a shichibukai for 1 week just so that he could break open the world's worst prison, unleash all of the worst criminals in the world on the world, take Whitebeard's fruit. He orchestrated the whole Marineford War, so basically the worst war in pirate history, in the Great Age of Pirates, right? He caused World War II, essentially. And then he became a Yonko himself. So the genius move of, like, creating this special group of protected pirates to fight the Yonko, not only did they not fight the Yonko, they actually just work their way up to the ladder, betray the world government, and then go run off and become Yonko themselves. The SSG is definitely going to be more effective than the Shichibukai because fucking, like, Day 1 Kobe and Helmepo are more useful than the Shichibukai ever were.